Hello everyone, happy Thursday night. This is Lisa Harden. I am coming to you live from the Stamping Zoo in, let's be honest, a bit of a dreary Boise, Idaho today. I wish it was a beautiful Boise, Idaho, but you know, we're just going to have to look inward for that because we're having an inversion. Does everybody know what an inversion is? If you live here, you definitely know. It is when pollution gets trapped down in the valley with the cold air and the hot air and all that business. Lots of other meteorological stuff that I don't understand. But what it equates to is really feeling like there's no difference between day and night. The temperatures don't change that much. And they stick to the cold side, of course, because otherwise it would be fun, right? So anyway, it's one of those days where I like to call it perfect stamping weather, of course. Let's just chat for a few moments while you're all coming on here. There are Jean and Sherry. Hello, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to move the camera down a little bit. Let's see if I can get this straightened out. I realized I had everything set a little far for me. I got the alligator arms tonight. Cold and dreary for Jean also. Hello, Cindy. Very nice to see you. There's Kathy Strang. Hi, Kathy. I hope you're doing well up there, you and Gracie. You probably have some cold weather yourself that you get to enjoy right now. Thank you so much for sharing, Jean. Jean is starting us off with a share. I bet lots of you are too. If you would be so kind, please share this video over to your social media sites. That helps the Stamping Zoo so much. You know, I am a business of one, right? And 2 dogs that are 10 years old today. Oh my gosh. Of course, I can't believe it that they're 10 years old already. I would like them to have stopped aging several years ago, but they just don't listen to me. So anyway, it's their 10th birthday. And you know, I haven't been treating them a lot differently from the way I treat them every day, which I think is a nice attest to the fact that I take good care of the dogs. I did let them have a couple bites of my cranberry orange muffin this morning. I told them that was their cake. They don't like dog birthday cakes and all that business. I've probably wasted hundreds of dollars in, well, yeah, at least hundreds of dollars in dog bakery items, if you will, and they don't care for it. They don't even want me to make them a cake here at the house. They just want to eat what I'm eating. So I let them do a little bit of that today. Hi, Susie. How are you doing? And Norma Jean, nice to see you. And there's Debbie from North Carolina. Last time we talked, Debbie, you had some snow. I don't know if you still do, but hopefully it's not too bad. I still have snow in my front yard. Well, no, in the backyard too, but in the shade we still have snow. Oh, hello, Anne. Are you saluting to the dogs? Because you know we were talking about them earlier today. Hello, Roz. Cranberry orange muffin. It was pretty yummy. It was pretty yummy, Jean, I have to say. It's not my everyday thing, but it was very good. Hello, Kathy Sheely. You spent 2 hours at the phone store. Oh gosh, you know, I mean, the only thing that could top that is 2 hours at the tire store. 2 places I really don't care to be. Like, I want the new features on the phone, but I don't want to go through the pain. They've been sending me specials, practically giving me a brand new phone, and, well, maybe not that much, but they're going to have to try a little bit harder to get me in there. Yes, I know I can do it all here from the house, but then who am I going to torture about transferring everything and all that stuff? That's kind of a hassle. Oh gosh. Hi, Della. I haven't seen you for a while, I don't think, so very nice to see you. And you know, it's just a nice night. Well, it hasn't been that exciting, but you know, normal work day, and I was kind of tired, so I took a nap after work, which is why you're not seeing me right now. No need. I'm in pajamas. I got bed head. You know, we'll just we will just focus on the cool cards today. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So, like I said, hello to everyone. Looks like you're sharing. You know the routine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're getting new viewers all the time. And it's because of you guys, right? So I thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Yes, you didn't miss anything, Kathy. I was just saying hi. And, of course, saying hello to Gracie. I didn't want to leave her out. Oh, your new red phone matches your car. Vroom, vroom, Kathy. Wow, that sounds fun. Oh, good. Roz, we're having a pajama party, right? Okay, let's see here. What do we want to start with? I don't know. I have a few items to chat about. We had a very nice time at Mystery Stamping. If you were there, thank you so much for joining in. So this is one of the things, I just want you to know what it looks like for next time. Yes, I said for next time. I think we're going to do it again for sure. It's fun. I'm trying to switch this, but sorry, I'm trying to switch the leader, but it won't come off. Get off there. There we go. Oh, brother, get over there. In case you didn't know, I have a host code that won't get off the screen. But there we go. I mean, I want you to use it. Yes, I do sell all of the products I'll be using tonight and most nights, right? Or most nights when I'm live. So if you would like to purchase some quality paper crafting products, that we have thousands of items. And if you don't have our catalogs, our current catalogs, with the beautiful windmill and let's see, let me grab the other one. You can't see it right now, but I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so we have the annual catalog, right? We're going to be using these stamps tonight, off and on. We have the beautiful mini catalog, and then we have the great celebration flyer, right? So this is stuff that you can't earn. No, you can't purchase. You have to earn it. So every time you purchase product in $50 increments, you get to choose something from this flyer. A, until it's sold out, or B, until the end of February. So it's super fun. But if you don't have any of these catalogs and you do live in the United States and you're not working with another demonstrator, please let me know. I would love to send them to you. We do have the catalogs online and they're fantastic. But isn't there just something about being able to have a little catalog that you know, put Post-it notes on and write in the margins and all that stuff? We need to do that. Hello, Jill. Very nice to see you. Yes, we did have a blast with the mystery stamping. So back to that, it kind of looked like this. This was one of the cards we did. We did 2 cards on Zoom. Everybody was really fun. And I just want to thank you all for that. And of course, it's always really shocking when you see all of the different designs. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So I really, really, really appreciate that. It was very fun for me as well. And so along the same lines of celebration, since we are talking about celebration, you can earn something else for free. And that is, you can earn your spot to my celebration. And it is going to be in early March. Again, it will still be by Zoom, via Zoom, which is, you know, kind of nice sometimes. It means you can wear your pajamas if you want. So it's very easy to earn this spot to this party. You just have to place a minimum amount of orders of $150 before taxes and shipping by the end of February. You can do that in one order or many orders. And besides earning your celebration reward, then you are going to earn an invitation to my party. And it's going to have a goodie bag, and we will be making cards and projects, of course, with one of the featured stamp sets from the celebration catalog, and you'll be getting other freebies, probably something tasty. and just accolades for being a lovely celebration, Stampin' Up! Or Stamping Zoo. Yes, that's right. Stamping Zoo customer. So I appreciate all of you. We did this last year and it was a lot of fun, I thought. And so I hope to see a few of you there. I already have a few signed up, but it is the end of January. So if you are planning on doing that, you have one more month. Yay. Okay, so the other item that's going on, I did technically close it, but I could still take one more person. So if you would like to join our bingo and bubblegum night, it's going to be Tuesday, February 8th. I will need to know like in the next couple of days because I'm going to cut materials this weekend and kits are going to go out next week. So please let me know if you're still interested in that. Of course, as you can see, we'll be playing, actually we're going to play 4 games of bingo. Okay, and we're going to have make and takes. And you're going to get a pillow. You're going to get pillow gifts. You're going to get gifts, not one gift, because that's just how I roll. I found a lot of fun things to send. So anyway, and we will be making projects featuring the Gumball Greetings stamp set, which is so fun. So and we'll be making a shaker card with all those products. So if you would like to join in on that, just send me a private message and I will message you the link, okay? Hello, Lois. Lois says she's watching from Las Vegas, but she's getting ready to go see Cirque du Soleil Beatles. How fun. Have a great time. Report back. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, though. Hello, Leslie. Very nice to see you. Nice. Oh, I love hearing from all of you, what you've got going on. And so let's see. Oh, that's right. I announced something else super fun today. If you get my emails, you already know about this. I do like to let my email list know ahead of time. So I put out a new, what do I want to say? A new card kit. I'm sorry. I just put out a new card kit. It's available right now. And there are a couple different ways to get it. You can either purchase it for $15 plus $5 shipping, plus $1 for financing fee if you don't use Venmo. And so like for $21, you can have this card kit sent to you. It will include 4 kits for cards that are gnomes. Check it out. I love them so much. And I even have gnome socks. So as long as supplies last on the socks, okay? And the socks are just a little freebie gift for me because I saw them and then I was like, okay, I'm going to buy all of the gnome socks in this store. So it was kind of fun. Yes. And so these are very nice card kits. They have all the bells and whistles. And let me just jump on and I'll show you the actual samples, at least one of them or 2 of them, right? Okay, so here's a pair of the socks, which by the way, Cash has been stealing almost every night. Like, what is his deal? Something special about these socks because he's been, I mean, there's a lot of them over there in a sack, but I think he keeps grabbing the same pair and he just runs out into the living room with them. I watched him. So anyway, he's not chewing on them, but there's something about these socks. So anyway, what it is about them, I'm sure, is he notices how cute they are, right? Several different little images of gnomes. And so along those same lines, I have a double fold or a double easel card here. This is the profile of the card, right? So it's not just a plain standard card. It stands up and kind of shows off your gnome like that. So for these kits, you get all of the paper supplies. You do not get the stamped image, of course, per Stampin' Up! Policy, but you'll get all of the embellishments. And each card kit will probably be slightly different. I will be using both the Sweet Talk DSP, such as with this one, And I'll also be using the Rainbow and Sunshine DSP from the from the Celebration set. Isn't he cute? Look at his little banner. I love it. So after I made each one, I kept saying, like, you're so cute. Even though they don't have eyes, they're such personality, I think. Oh, and they're also on wobblers, if you can't tell. So I wanted to throw like all the bells and whistles in on these cards. And then the card base is just plain white, so that it's a basic white, thick. Okay, so it's a very nice card. And then you can do all sorts of stamping. You can write a nice note in there. You can add sentiments. This could very easily be a Valentine's card or a birthday card, right? Or a hi card, thinking of you. Who's not going to smile when they get this kind of a card? A gnome on a wobbler? I mean, come on. So anyway, you will get 4 different, you probably get 2 using the rainbow papers, 2 using the sweet talk papers, but they won't all be the same because I'll be using all of the patterns. So anyway, I really like this set, and in a nutshell, like I said, you can purchase this for $21, get the socks for free, right? And that includes shipping. Or you can purchase $50 of product, which I'm sure you have a list of $50 of product anyway. And then you get that kit for free. Yep, you do. So the thing about it is I want you to use a special link that was in the email this morning or this afternoon, whenever I sent it out. There's a special link. So if you don't have that link, first of all, I would love for you to sign up to receive my emails, because just like I said about the gnome special, that's how you find out first about what I have going on. Okay. And secondly, there's just all sorts of really easy links in there. Sometimes maybe I put too many links in there. I don't know, but I find it just really easy for me. That's how I like to receive an email. So I put lots of links in there for you. And anyway, I will sell them until I don't have any more. Okay. And I'll definitely let you know ahead of time if I sell out or if I don't have any more socks. But for right now, I think we're going to be fine. So, all right. And I will start sending out the gnome kits on Monday. Okay. So you're going to have them in plenty of time should you want to use them as Valentine's or, you know, whatever. Basically, all you're going to have to do is adhere them together, the pieces and parts. Okay. And I think the price, I try to keep the price just as nice as possible. And I really think the price is very fair for 4 cards with envelopes and all of those goodies, okay? We're going to open something now. Oh my goodness, we have mail. We got mail from Miss Jen Houston at the Artsy Fartsy Gallery. What? And look, first of all, look how cleverly she packaged it. She packaged it in our grid paper. Made it here from Canada, airmail. I love it. She also sends me cards in our clear envelopes, and they make it here just fine. I think if you're doing that domestic, it requires a special handling, but we're already putting special handling on most of our gifts, or most of our cards anyway, aren't we? I know I am, so may as well have fun with it. So our products are great for shipping as well. Let's take a look at this. Obviously, I've not looked at it. I didn't think she'd be sending me anything risque, right? That would be very out of character. I'm not going to put it past her. Wow. Okay. Oh, goodness. Well, this is going to be fun. Oh. Canmore, Alberta calendar. How fun. I love it, Jen. Photos by Fabby Clat. Now, I have never heard of that name before. That's so cute. Fabby Clat, probably well known in the Canmore area. So, that's very exciting. Let's take a look at this, okay? Shall we? Designed and printed in Canada. FYI, you know how much I love Canada. What else is in here? Oh my gosh, how fun. Turtles, hot chocolate, get out. That must be a Canadian delicacy. Some of you know I've been watching Top Chef Canada. When I told you when we were mystery stamping, I was hoping that I was going to learn a lot about the culture of Canada through watching Top Chef Canada. And I think what I've learned is, you know, you tell me, but what I think I've learned about Canada is that you guys like caviar a lot. Okay, let's take a look at these. What? Oh, these are so cute. They're llama, probably magnets. Let's check it out. She finds the best things. Jen is a very good gift giver. She spoils me. Jen. Hello, Pam. Yes, Kathy, it is beautiful, isn't it? Hey, KZ. KZ says, it's sharing time. They've been doing such a good job, KZ. So, I don't quite know. No problema. Oh, it's candy. That's fun. And the candy says cool llamas on the back of it. Hilarious. Okay, so it's like, Roz, it's like for Hanukkah, it's guilt. Holy llamas. That's so cute, Jen. Oh my gosh. Isn't that beautiful? There's one thing Jen can do. Well, there's a lot of things she can do, but one thing she definitely does well. And that is makes cards. If you've never seen Jen, please pop over there sometime. I share her videos as well. Her business name is the Artsy Fartsy Gallery, and it's Jen Houston. Oh gosh, she's excited. We are one day closer to meeting in person. We are. Here's a taste of what I've been missing. Yep, I knew it. Turtles, hot chocolate. And look at this. And I need this right now for my glasses, actually. Dang it, Jen, you're so smart. I swear. What a good shopper, right? Like, where are all these things when I'm out trying to spend some money? It's like the universe doesn't want me to spend money or something. That's crazy. Canada. Oh, Canada is a beautiful country. You went there a lot in your younger years? That's cool. Yeah, it's stunning. So, the plans are, who knows about the world, but my plans are to definitely meet Jen in person in Canada in 2022. So, we'll let you know, right? We'll all let you know. I don't know if we're going to take a look at every picture. Oh, why not? Do we have time? We have time. My producer says we have time. That means the dogs have their snacks already, so we're good. Oh, so pretty. These look just like some of the pictures that Jen posts, don't they? Oh, my Lord. Gorgeous. Ooh, that looks like it's at Jen's house. I bet it is. Now, I wonder if there's also some cool, yep, here's Victoria Day. They still have Mother's Day. I bet I knew that. There's Father's Day. It's going to get weird here towards October because I think that's when their Thanksgiving is. Their Thanksgiving. Your Thanksgiving. Oh, now I know when Canada Day is. I knew that too because it's around the 4th of July, right? 1st of July. Oh, wow. Look at those antlers. They're kind of fuzzy. That's cute. I like that. And let's see. Oh, beautiful. Don't you love that when there's colors of purple in the sky? I love that so much. By the way, Canadian peeps, Thanksgiving is October 10th. So, oh, man. Okay, very cool. Oh my gosh, that looks like it's at Jen's house too. I think she lives right there, actually. And anyway, just really beautiful, huh? That was so nice, Jen. Oh my gosh. And I hope this is a good calendar. I hope that after the first few months, I hope that I write a lot of activities in this calendar, for goodness sake. Oh, we gotta get some events on our calendars, don't we? I mean, you can do all the virtual stuff with me. That's still fun, but I'd like to get out and about and meet some of you in person. That would be so fun. Kathy Strang keeps telling me she's going to drive here for a class sometime. So I would love that. All right, everybody. Well, I guess it's enough gabbing, but I do really enjoy those gifts that Jen sent to me. So cute, beautiful card. It's just typical of the relationships we make in Stampin' Up, isn't it? That's why when I'm trying to explain to people about it, I mean, I don't like to sound like I'm in a cult, but I'm kind of happily in a cult, right? I'm in a nice cult. I drank the Stampin' Up Kool-Aid, so to speak. So, and we have all sorts of fun team things that go on too. In fact, if you're on my team, we're going to be making 2 of those cards and 2 of the gnome cards for a little online team time. And so I think that's really going to be fun. And of course, they get those just for the price of shipping, just for $5. So, okay, you can see I have all sorts of pieces and parts. I have cards in different states of readiness. And the dies that I'm really focusing on tonight, see these very large dies? They are the slim card dies. I think some of us, more than some of us, have been waiting for these for a while. So there's 2 really large dies for Slimline cards. And then there's 2 kind of edge dies. Okay, let me show you where this is in the catalog. It's very cool. I really recommend it. And, oh, Norma, you say you love you some Jen and you watch her as often as you can and you love her channel. That's so cute. Oh, I love it. The Jen channel. Yes, I love it too. Okay, so let's look up Slim. I think it's called Slim Sayings. You know what? I actually didn't get the stamps. Now, I'm sure I'll go back and get the stamps like a new head. But if you don't listen to me and you purchase the dies and the stamps together, you save 10%, which is a good idea. Don't freak out on me. This is a little more pricey than our standard bundle, but please keep in mind, look at all this stainless steel that's here, right? This is a lot of die material. So this bundle is $72.75. Okay, so the good news about that is you get the 4 dies I just showed you, all of these fabulous sentiments. They really are good. And I think I'm going to order them tonight, actually, because as I'm looking at them, I realize each of these are going to be so fantastic when you use it with embossing powder, right? What was I thinking? I thought, oh, they're okay. So there you go. So the stamp set's $22. And if you like to emboss, this would be a great set because they're nice. The font is nice and bold. And so, I mean, this one is a little more fine, but I think it's large enough that it will produce really nice embossing. So anyway, they have a couple of really cool examples here for us, right? You're one of a kind. Look at this one. We're going to make something with this die tonight. And I've already made a card that I'm going to show you with this die. This one's really funky. It's just so ornate, and I have a couple of tips for you on that one. And then look how they've used this edging. It's so pretty. It looks, it looks like a pretty scalloped envelope, but now you can make a fancy edged card, right? And they've even used, then they've pulled in this stamp set, the best delivery, and they've put the trucks on the bottom of it. And then, of course, as always, they've given us some high-quality envelopes, 15 envelopes for $10. They come in 3 different colors, soft, succulent, white, and smoky slate. And they do have linings in them, or at least little decorative pieces. Nope, they're lined all the way down there. So they're beautiful, right? Beautiful standard Slimline cards. And so I'm going to talk about measurements with you today and commit them to memory. Actually, you have some leeway. People make mini Slimline cards. Sorry, They might make many Slimline cards too, but mini Slimline cards and just all sorts of stuff. So one thing I immediately did when I was just playing around is I took the Marvelous paper. See this? And I was thinking about, I mean, it just kind of immediately looked like a little handbag to me. Like it takes up the whole screen. So, of course, I wanted to change it into a holder for cash. I give cash a lot. That's kind of cool aunt I am. But you could put, you know, your card in here, and then I put the little sentiment in there. Super easy. You just have to cut your card a little bit longer. This is probably 1.5 inches. So that when you fold it over, you have a little tab to keep the money in there. Can they be sent standard mail? Yes, except I think the same thing applies when when it's a certain thickness. So maybe even because of that knot, it might be special, you know, like the 15-cent special handling. Basically, I'm putting 73 cents on all of my cards now, or sometimes 75 cents, just because I don't want to bother with it next time. But yes, a Slimline card can be sent in basically what's a legal sized envelope. And this can go for first class, standard first class mail. Now, I don't know about sending it internationally. I'm guessing that it's the same kind of special fee, which is like 15 or 17 cents currently. So I'll check into that. I'll let you know. I'll post it. Because I'll need to know, right? Because I'm making cards with this. I love this. So anyway, I just literally die cut it, put it down, and I put some of our Iridescent Basic Gems. Is that what they're called? They're so cool. And then just made a little clutch out of this, which I think is so fun. Kathy made her own Slimline card finally. Envelopes are great. Mailed it with 1 stamp, and they got it fine. Okay, perfect. Thanks for letting us know. This was one way also. I was I kind of started with this paper to tease Maria, because Maria, remember, we all know as of last week, Maria told me she did not like the Marvelous paper. There was a big long story involving college about it. But she was very adamant she was not going to like this paper. And I thought, well, what if you cut it all up? You don't even really know it's the Marvelous paper, right? Except it's got kind of a cool, I wouldn't call it ombre, but just like an airbrushed feel. So there you go, Maria. I may have to give this to you. And, oh, I don't know if I should show you this card. I think I'll show it to you now instead of like saving it. You guys might be asleep by then. Okay, so I took this die, right? And I was playing with it today because I really wanted to know about these dies with DSP. And what I learned is when you cut out DSP with something so detailed, it basically falls apart in your hand. I mean, it was there, but I could never stick it down on a piece of cardstock. And so I have a little trick to show you so that you can make a card with DSP, because what I had in mind was this. And so I took, do you see what I did there? I took a solid piece of DSP that I adhered to a piece of cardstock to make it really thick, ran that through with some adhesive sheet on it, okay, and then popped up all of these pieces with my Take Your Pick tool. They were adhered down with adhesive, and I'll show you why in a minute, but there's actually 2 layers of adhesive between these things. And so then I just popped them up and put a dimensional under each one of them. And so you can see here, then there's like the bright Daffodil Delight is shining through. And I guess this could be sideways too. This is that beautiful, stunning daffodil paper that you can earn for free with a $50 purchase. I can't believe it's free with a $50 purchase. And I love this pattern in particular. So, and then I just put all the pieces back in it, and I thought it looked kind of like a really pretty quilted paper or something. It almost doesn't look like paper. So we are going to do something similar with the other die, the more linear die, so that you can see what I did without watching me do all this. I didn't spend an hour on this card. I mean, I spent time figuring it out, but once I put this card together, I didn't spend an hour putting it together, but it takes a little while because you're popping up all those things. And then I finished it off with the Evening Evergreen in color gems, which just adds lots of sparkle. So I hope you guys are able to see that pretty well, because I really like this card. I have no idea who it's going to, but it's going to be somebody's birthday. This is also, I think, a really great stamp set to use with these larger cards, because they're larger. This is everybody's, well, I don't know, is this everyone's favorite? I really think it is. Give me a thumbs up if you like the Biggest Wish, because I really like Biggest Wish. So anyway, I'm using this also since I was a dodo head and didn't get the stamp set, right? Yes, that's true. And then here's one of the envelopes in white too. So Kathy Sanford says, you're really not sold on the Slimline die, but the card is making you rethink it. Well, Kathy, I mean, that's what I'm here for. So just relax. I hope you like it. Yeah, this paper, I can't get enough of it. And so anyway, those are two ideas with this really detailed die. And that one edging die, right? And so I think what I want to do right now is let's actually jump in and do a little something. Now, I'm not putting these on my magnets. I'm sure if we go more, if I end up having several Slimline dies, I will do a very similar organization for them. But for right now, they're just staying in that envelope because I only have one set. And along those lines, I will tell you that I believe I have a videographer ready to help me with my craft room tour. So hopefully you'll be seeing that in the next couple of weeks. My videographer is Anne. So Anne is very busy right now, thank goodness. She's got some progress going on a project of hers that when she has, a little free time or something, then we are going to shoot the grand video of this tiny room. We'll probably end up walking on each other, but that's fun. So look for that. Okay, so this is the more linear die. To me, it looks like an offset herringbone pattern, but it's really just a series of check marks, isn't it? At least this is how a left-handed person makes check marks, how I make check marks. You know what? Some left-handed people do it backwards because they want to make it look like right-handed. They fell to the pressure. But for some reason, nobody ever corrected me on that. And it's actually kind of handy because as an accountant, do you know how many tens of thousands of check marks I've made in my life? And you can always tell which one's mine. So I guess that's a good thing or a bad thing, maybe. Now I'm going to bring this in here. I know this is going to be really close, but I want you to see everything that's going to go into attaching this card. Okay, so this process of attaching this to some cardstock is probably not as important as with that other die, because the other die really, it has so many little slim pieces. But I'm going to do the same thing to show you the process. Anyway, how about that? So I love it. I just, this is out of the daffodil paper. Oh, I love that. It's the only sad thing about using this paper. So I'm going to cover up the window pane, but that's life. So the color code on the back of the paper, right, told me that this was pool party, and I really wanted to grab that pool party color. It seemed like it was the one that it was getting the least amount of attention, but it's a definite pop. And so I just thought, I'm going to use that because it's so pretty and just kind of stands out, of course, amongst all the pinks and the vanilla. Okay, so I have our adhesive sheets here. You can do one layer of this with gluing if you want to, but I'm not going to. So this my process for this, okay, actually involves two sheets, two-ish sheets of adhesive sheets. Now, don't freak out on me because these are special cards, okay? You're not going to be making 50 of these cards. And the other thing is a lot of adhesive sheets come in a package. I think they're only 10 bucks. That's cheap. You can afford 3 at least. So, hello, Deborah. Very nice to see you. Deborah was at Mystery Stamping. We had fun. Her cards looked great. Okay, so what I have cut to the measurement for this die cut is 3.5 by, I don't want to guess. I'll guess wrong. Oh, I would have guessed right. It's 3.5 by 8.5, okay? And my card base is 7.5 by 8 3/4, okay? 7.5 by 8 3/4. That fits nicely into our envelopes, okay? But don't forget that. 7.5 by 8 3/4. And then, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut 2 pieces of the adhesive sheet because I told you I needed 2 layers, right? And I want them at 3.5 by 8.5. Now, when you cut them, you're going to have these large chunks. So you really don't use 2 pieces of adhesive sheet. But because of the measurements, you need to start out with 2 pieces of adhesive sheet. Okay, and then you, what you have left over is still a lot. You have these 2 large pieces that can be cut in half and used for a standard card front, and then these 2 large squares. So never fear. You're going to have lots of adhesive sheets left, but if you have never purchased these before, please do. What are you waiting for? 152 334. They're great. Really like them. And so here's what I did. Kind of made an adhesive sandwich. Like I said, this is going to be what we're going to eventually use as the front of our card with the die cutting. So between that and the cardstock, I'm going to put a layer of adhesive. Now, this is the stage where, like I said, you could glue this together with liquid glue, but then you need to let it dry for a while before you die cut it, or I think it will turn into a mess. And the other thing is that you can't really leave any empty spots with no glue on them, right? So you're going to have to put kind of a heavy layer of glue, because when you're die cutting, you know, if you just had like a little spot that didn't have any glue in it, then that piece would come up. And I'm trying to not get these pieces to come up. We want the cardstock and the DSP to just kind of meld into one, okay? Like I said, this was, I cut out that other one, that other die cut, the really fine one. I cut that out a couple of times just with plain DSP, and I even tried DSP with adhesive on the back. And no, it just turned into spider webs, really. It was like, before I knew it, it was all clinging to itself. And that really makes sense once you look at it, Lisa. Okay, and then I'm just going to start on one end. I want to try and get this. I think you can see me. Here we go. I want to make sure you can see this. My camera's lagging a little bit behind. Okay, so just get it pretty straight over there. Now I am coming off the edge a little bit. That's okay, because we do have, with this measurement, 3.5 by 8.5, you still have a little bit of border. So see, we're just going to be able to cut this out. So not a lot of waste from the DSP, but I do want to show you, when you put this up on your Stampin', you have to use the big, the standard size Stampin' Cut and Emboss, because the platform, the other platform, the mini platform, it's not long enough. It's probably wide enough, maybe barely, but it's not long enough. And because it takes the whole plate. Hello, Carla, and hi, Peggy. Doing well. Thank you so much. And nice to see both of you. Okay, whoops, and I already forgot something. I want adhesive on the back of this too. That's what I had this for, Lisa. Come on. What are you doing? So, as I told you, I want a sandwich. But it's going to be like 2 layers. It's going to be a layer of DSP, a layer of cardstock, and 2 layers of adhesive sheet. Okay. Let me get this put on here so that I don't mess up on this whole thing I was trying to show you. I wouldn't normally perch it on top of the die cut machine. And see, I even got, here, let's move this. I even got a wrinkle in it. It's totally okay. It doesn't matter. It's coming off in the end, and it's just going to be adhesive. So it's so thin that it's okay. And yes, you're going to get a little bit of that on your hands, but it just kind of rolls off. Okay, so now this is what I recommend. So it's cardstock, it's DSP, adhesive, cardstock, adhesive. Okay, now we can proceed. So I have seen this card, and I'm sure you have too. Lots of people have made it in rainbow colors. Oh yes, that is so fun and cheerful, of course. But that was also why I thought I should probably show you something different. Of course, our DSP is one of the things that Stampin' Up! Is known for, right? We make the best quality and the best patterns. And so I thought it might be fun to try and work this in to the pattern. Okay, you might not see all of this. I know I can't adjust the camera automatically. So I'm just going to leave it alone. But just know that this die and paper and all that stuff, it's got to be on the plate from top to bottom. It takes up the whole thing. And you have to have it like that, or your die cut won't cut. And then it takes a little pressure to get it started, because remember, this, you saw them, they're like really solid, large dies. Okay, and over the speed bump. All right, 1 speed bump. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. Hopefully it will change a little bit. Let me grab the plates. Okay, Carla's on my team. I hope you're going to come make gnome cards with me, Carla. I hope that one of those dates worked out for you. It's not going to take forever because I do a ton of the cutting. I do all the cutting. What am I saying? So the only thing you really need is adhesives. Okay, let me put this away. Oh, there went the adhesive sheets. They went overboard. Okay. Oh, so pretty. And our envelopes are so great for storing. So, like, I know I use the magnetic sheets, but again, these are totally fine. Very fine. And so now we have our pattern cut into the sandwich, right? And it didn't cut, it looks like it didn't cut clear through this, but that's okay. That's kind of how I like it. Okay, so let me bring in this paper in case we get a little mess. I like a mess. It means we're doing something fun. Okay, so the border's gonna come off. There was that, remember, I cut this DSP a little bit larger than what we needed. And so it's not falling off, but it's a nice enough cut that it's coming off really cleanly. So do not worry about that. Okay, that's the first part. Now I have not done this process with this particular die cut yet, so we're gonna learn together. So this is what this card's gonna look like. Oh my God, I love it already. All right, let's see here. So here's, I think what I want to do is, yes. Okay, so now I'm going to take the backing off. Remember, it's mostly cut, but I kind of want to pull it while keeping it down like that. It seems to keep the die cuts in place. We're trying to keep them in place, and we're going to put them on the card this way. And then we're going to peel up some of them, because you can kind of do that. Well, you can't kind of do that. You can do that. What am I saying? Kind of do that. You can do that pretty easily when you first put it down, right? And then it firms up, and, you know, once you really burnish it, then it just kind of all becomes one. But until then, we can kind of mess around with this whole thing. Okay, see how easy that is? Now you have a whole piece instead of just that little thin frame that you're trying to fiddle around with, which doesn't work out. Make sure your card's facing the right way. That's super important. Oh, make sure your flowers are facing the right way. I don't think it looks very good if daffodils are upside down. Oh gosh. I'm sure there's some hidden meaning in that. Now, Anne, if you're still there, we read that book called The Meaning in Flowers. Do you remember that? Where, like, you know, of course, all types of flowers meant different things. And at the time, okay, I don't remember exactly what it was. I think yellow flowers meant jealousy or something like that. And or yellow roses meant jealousy. And I remember that right about the time I was reading that book, God, somebody I know got a big bouquet of yellow roses. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, they think that means love, but it doesn't. I read too much. I have a saying on my wall, and it's from Little Women. I think it was probably Aunt Marsh that said it, and it's, oh God, now I'm gonna forget what it says. It says, like, she reads too many books and it has turned her brain. Okay, now what I did, which is kind of a happy accident, is my pattern goes a little differently from what you'd expect. My points are up, which I'm kind of liking, right? Because I just assumed, like, I didn't think about it when I put it on the DSP. So that's the story. That's the moral of the story, is think about that before you put this down here. But again, who's to say that this is wrong? It's totally fine. It's really cool, actually. So just one more different way to kind of vary this really strong pattern. Okay, yellow means friendship. Well, that's possible, Kathleen. That's what I always thought. And it probably is in some other, you know, this was like Victorian times. So anyway, and I think that's what it was. I think like friends gave another friend yellow roses or something. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, I'm going to leave that one in there because I don't want to mess around. I think it would use dimensional, but it would be kind of difficult. Okay, you've got to have a take your pick tool, which, my Lord, if you don't have one by now, I don't know how to convince you. Okay, so, well, I guess I'm going to convince you tonight, right, with this. Hey, thanks, Peggy. I am demonstrating some challenging projects, but you know what? The payoff is so fun. Okay, I hope. Yes, perfect. It's like they knew we were going to put dimensionals on this. So a regular dimensional fits right on this. Now, instead of putting, while I'm doing this, let me talk to you about different things you could do. Okay, now from this point, if you like jigsaw puzzles, you are going to like doing this part. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle, and it's so something very inherently satisfying about putting these pieces right where they came from. I'm telling you, it's true. Okay, so here's how you could vary it. You could put a different piece of DSP or a different piece of cardstock back behind this, like you could have chosen, I could have chosen Daffodil Delight, and then that would have shown through, because you know, when you lift these pieces, you can see the color underneath somewhat. And so you could like do that, and I think that would be really, it's kind of a cool surprise and really stunning. You can lift up just certain of these pieces. You don't have to lift up every single piece, of course. You know, on that last card I started by, I lifted like one line, you know, every other line, and then I couldn't stand it. I had to lift them all because I liked how it looked so much. So just kind of putting these along the way. I don't really think that this needs to have, you know, this is still sticky, and you can take the sticky away from the adhesive sheet part by rubbing embossing buddy over it. I don't really think you need to. I think that the dimensionals hold it up quite nicely, so we're not going to have that issue, and I already love the look of this. You guys, I think this is a card, I mean, you tell me, but I think this kind of a technique with this kind of a die cut is something you can send to a card maker. See, a little bit of cardstock came off with that. That's okay. But this is a card that you could send to a card maker, and it would take them a few minutes to figure out what you did. And that's always so fun, is to try and, you know, stump your card making buddies. So obviously I've already told you the secret, but I'll try and send it to another card making buddy, and we'll see if they can figure it out. I think, you know what, okay, like I know there's probably different times of history where flowers meant different things, but I think it's always nice if you just send flowers. And personally, I love the look of yellow roses, so hey, get back here. Okay, one other thing I was thinking about with these dies that would look really stunning is if you cut them from ombre paper. Oh, I need a dimensional right on that corner. If you cut them from our rainbow glimmer paper or our set of ombre papers, I think it will look really stunning. As well as any of the foils. I think all of the foils come in 12 by 12 sheets. So, but notice that I did that. Remember that one that I told you was the pocketbook, the first example I showed you? I pieced two 6 by 6 pieces of DSP together. I mean, it gets a little futzy, but it can be done. Okay, so this one is kind of lifting up some of the paper, but again, as long as it doesn't get too gnarly, you're never going to know that. It's kind of there for, it's kind of the safeguard, right? So are we liking this? Anybody? Hello, Bueller. Anybody liking this technique? Does anyone have these slimline dies? And if so, have you used them? Are you liking them? I find it's harder for me to take a picture of them. In my little light box. I've got a little light box, and I'm just not used to setting up for taking a picture with them. So that is something that I need to get used to. But there we go. There's some hearts, some thumbs up, little action. Very nice. I will say, if you are watching this on replay, hello. And I'm so glad to have you here just as much as if you were live. Please leave me a message. Just say hi, or tell me where you're from. Tell me if you paper craft or what you like to do crafty-wise. And if you would be so kind, you can still share, like and share. And if you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I think I have 349 viewers now. I've worked hard for each and one of those beautiful 349 viewers. But I do need more by YouTube standards to be able to go live over there. So until I get another few hundred, like 650, I will only be going live on Facebook. That's okay too, but when I can do YouTube, that'll just be one more avenue. So again, very helpful if you subscribe to the Stamping Zoo over on YouTube. Even if you don't watch me there, it will just mean that you're helping me work towards doing more lives, reaching more paper crafters, right? Now, isn't this fun? I really like how that pattern is coming out. It's, again, it's a more bold pattern. The pieces are bigger, and so it's more noticeable than the little, I don't know, I wouldn't call it that pattern trapezoids, but I don't know, the little detailed piece. Did anyone watch The Gilded Age last night on HBO? No, I think it was from Monday night. I'm sorry. I just watched it last night. So, did anybody else watch that? I'm in love with it, of course. It's a period piece set in the 1880s in the United States East, but I don't remember what town now. Oh, it was New York. Yeah, it was New York. So, anyway, of course, very interesting, beautiful architecture. You know, like when those huge buildings were actually just homes being built by wealthy, wealthy people. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm really liking this. See, and you see all that texture and stuff. And then also remember that depending on the different colors of the DSP or the card bases, you might want to use our black Stampin' Dimensionals, right? So you can purchase those in a combo pack that gives you, I believe, a couple sheets of the standard and a couple sheets of the minis, which are perfect. So they're not just for Halloween, y'all. Yeah, Nicole, Christine Baranski is really good in it. I mean, she's basically the main, well, I don't know. I don't know if she's the main person, but you'll see a lot of her. And Cynthia Nixon, great. So anyway, the cast of characters is very numerous, I'm sure, and it looks like it took a lot of money to film. I was reading about it, and I think it had been in the works for, I want to say 10 years, but anyway, directed by Julian Fellows, who did Downton Abbey, of course. So we've all been waiting for a new something to take the place of Downton Abbey. And I don't know if this is going to take its place, but it was certainly entertaining to me. I won't tell you any more storyline. But the scenes, the fashion, the set. Yeah, really cool. Oh, you loved it, Roz? Of course you did. We're, you know, twinsies that way. You only got the envelopes to make sure you would enjoy them. Yeah, that was a good idea, Kathleen. Just get the, just spend $10 on the envelopes. See if you even like making them. It definitely changes your, you know, so when you're stamping and stuff, it changes your layouts because, of course, they're larger. They're thinner than we're used to. And they're just kind of, it makes everything kind of a little more fresh. It's different from how you've used your stamps and dies before. And I will show you one of the projects that's in process. We might finish it, depending on how long it takes me to do these, but I don't know. I guess I don't need to show you this whole process. I think you get the hang of it. Like I said, it's pretty easy. And even though, like, my last DSP didn't cling so much to the cardstock underneath, it doesn't matter. Because once you got it laid down, it's the same color as your card base. And I'm sure it's doing that because the area that has adhesive sheet on it is much thicker than that other die. That other die is so fine. The lines are just really fine in it. So this is working. And I'm actually very glad that I have that extra piece of cardstock sandwiched in there because just because of this, because you can kind of play with it a little bit. Good night, Kathy. Oh, you're traveling tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you soon. Oh, KZ, you are watching This Is Us. Isn't this the last season for This Is Us? The last season for that? I kind of gave up on it. I don't know. I mean, I know it's very popular. I'm sure it's fantastic. I stopped watching it after maybe the second episode, a second series. No, second season. Sorry, y'all. Whatever. You're like, whatever. We're used to, you know, as Anne says, she speaks Lisa. So, this is so, it's a really fun thing to do. You could like make a bunch of cards like this, right? And then just tear up the pieces one night when you're watching TV. I would suggest good lighting though, regardless. It's kind of always a given, right? Safe travels. Okay. Oh yeah, KZ. I'm not traveling either. Are you kidding? You can travel for me, Kathy String. Tell me all about it. I'm laying low. Every other person I know here is sick or has COVID or both. You know what I mean? So, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to get just random sick either. I'm just getting over some random sickness. So, yeah, we're all kind of laying low. I'm going to cut out gnomes. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. Yes, that'll make me very happy. They're so cute. Andy, one of my friends / customers, told me I should name all of the gnomes, and I think that's a great idea. I'm gonna name them kind of based on their Stampin' Up! Color. So that one that was purple was a lot of Highland Heather. So I think he's going to be called Highland Nomi, of course. Highland Nomi. He's not going to be called Heather because he doesn't have braids. Now you could put braids on them. Make them into girl gnomes if you wanted. But then you got to get rid of the beard. It's a whole revamp. So, you know. Or maybe they could have beards and braids. I don't care. They'll all be cute. But anyway, yeah. So he's Highland Homie. And I'm not sure about the other ones yet. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but several of their hats they're going to be made out of glimmer paper. We have some ombre glimmer paper that has a big sheet of red in it. And then also, of course, we have the rainbow glimmer paper. And I'm using the rainbow DSP, so, you know, I think you're getting it. I think you know what's coming next. Oh my goodness. Oops. Okay. I'm just piecing. Again, just look at like your pattern. And then it just goes right back together. Oh my gosh. Okay. We can take this last one out. I'm not going to worry about, like, I'm not doing that down there. I could. If we were going to take some more time with it, I would. But I just want you to know that you don't have to get every little piece out. I don't think very many people are going to focus on that tiny area. They're going to focus on all the work you did. Oh my gosh, so cute. And I'm definitely getting some iridescent gems out for this one. Those gems are killer beautiful. There we are. Look at this. Isn't this fun? Again, it's hard for me to show it to you. So, I guess you could display it this way, landscape. But let's get some of our gems. And I'm just going to kind of sparkle those or sprinkle them all over. You could use lots of different of our embellishments, opal rounds, or you could use something that is flirty flamingo or hot pink. We have some sequins. They might be a little high profile, but yeah. And then I'm not putting these on in any sort of a symmetrical way, because if I did that, it would take like this whole package. and I can't part with that many. So I'm going to treat this like it's a flat, it's flat. And I'm going to use my same little triangle methodology. And then maybe I'll put a rather large one up here and then do another 3 over here. So these iridescent gems are 3 different sizes. Look at them. They're so pretty. They definitely pick up pinks. Sometimes you can see yellow, even purple. So again, they go with a lot of different things. They're so cool. 200, and they are in the new mini catalog. Okay, easy as that. Not difficult to find. And if you can't find them, all you have to do is send me a message. I'll order them for you. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. And then we're gonna have this insert. And why don't we do another birthday card? Because it's just kind of fun that way. Okay, so last time I used the happy as the big word. So I think we'll use the birthday as the big word on this one. And then I love this flexibility. It's so fun. Hello, kid. How are you doing? Oh, is it your birthday today? You know how many times I've said that? Probably 100. Okay. As I told you, like, the good news is we really didn't do much different than we do on any other day. They don't like special cakes, so I told you I'd give them some of my muffin. And, but the thing they really like is, of course, they want to go for a walk. So we went for a walk, and I'm telling you, frigid doesn't even describe it. Dang it. Why didn't I just skip it? It was for me anyway. It's not like they know. But I was like, no, they've got to go for a walk on their birthday. It was like 26, I think. When I got back to the house, it was 26 with the wind blowing. God. So, yeah, that was super fun. And then I let them go with me in the CAR. And I had actually saved some errands to run because, again, that's how I am. Okay, I'm going to choose a couple of colors right from the DSP because why wouldn't I? It's so inspirational and pretty. But here's the thing. When you're using this big, bold sentiment, I always like these to be the lightest color. So whichever word is the big, bold sentiment, let me show you on the complete set. I like to make these the lighter color because if you don't, it kind of drowns out these. If you want the sentiments to intersect. So let's see, where's that other card? If you want the happy and the birthday to be together like this, then I prefer the big word to be lighter. But if you separate the words, it doesn't really matter. But I just like the look of that. So that's my little rule. So I think I'm going to use, let's use Flirty Flamingo for the birthday part. And then for the happy, let's use, I want to use Coastal Cabana. It's just a darker version of Pool Party. So now, can I remember that? Hurry and pull them, Lisa. I am putting this birthday on the Stamparatus because it's big and bold. And if I mess up on it, I want to be able to simply come back in and restamp it. So Stamparatus it is. And I got a bunch of ink on the lid. Oh, see? That's what saves us. 1 minute here. One moment. I need to find this, my chamois, and get that off. Now, if you have our stamping cubes, or if you have a little stamping cube from a paper pumpkin in these colors, I think they work really well with the plates for the Stamparatus. You don't seem to get it all over the place like I just did. Okay, so re-stamping the birthday. Beautiful. And that is probably going to take a few seconds to dry because that is a lot of ink. Look at it. It's so pretty. It's like birthday. So yes, we're making birthday cards today in honor of my 10-year-old babies. And I'm going to say what everybody else says. Where did the time go? Right? Weren't they toddlers / puppies just a few years ago? I keep telling them to stop getting a year older. But you know what? They don't listen to me. They keep doing it. But I'm very happy to say they are very healthy. They are still really curious, fun. I don't know that anything has changed in their lives. You know, they probably have a little more gray hair, but that's okay. Don't we all? Interesting card. Thank you, Donna. I hope to win you over to fun card by the end of it. It's different though, right? You don't see that all the time. Okay, now I'm going to put the happy just slightly over the birthday part. Fun. Those are that Flirty Flamingo is definitely really a strong color, but I think the happy still works pretty good. It doesn't compete too badly. Okay, so then just gonna get a little. You don't have to use an adhesive sheet on this. You just have to use. Oh, for crying out loud! We just ran out of seal. Let me see. Do I have another one? Oh yes, I do. Thank goodness. It's like, come on. What are you doing to me, seal? I know. They've been having a great day. So I'll hang out with them after this. And every day is kind of Tango and Cash's birthday. I do whatever I think might make them happy. Believe me, I do. Within reason. This is really pretty. I like this card a lot. I will take a decent picture of it and then show it to you guys. But like I said, it's kind of hard to show you, right? Here. So, and also like the wow, kind of the wow with this kind of a card is when you look from the side, you can see that, that all the shiny gems and the blue is coming through. I hope you like that one. Okay, so let me show you this last one. Yeah, we should be able to finish this one by 8:30. I know you guys are a couple hours ahead of me. Some of you are. So, so this one was just, I don't know. I just started thinking about the stamp set and how I would like to use it. So I've cut 1.5 inches off of the front of this card. Okay, it is 8 3/4 by 7.5, scored at 3 3/4. And then I took 1.5 inches off of the front. And what I wanted to do was basically use this and point to the sentiment. But then I think I got wrapped up again in putting these flowers down and all this business because they're so cute. But let's see if we can do that. I think, so this is the artistically inked. You know it's gorgeous. Like, get out of town. It's so pretty. And so I used that one to stamp these in pale papaya, and Calypso Coral. And it's just, you know, it's made to look like alcohol inks. And then I think we'll use, these are really nicely sized sentiments too, but I think to keep it short, we could use Best Wishes. Or we could use, let's see here. Oh, I also have this. Hello, friend. That's going to have to go this way, though. See, if I want to keep this from looking like a pocketbook, a clutch, I need to have it standing up like this. And then I need kind of a short sentiment, right? I could move this back a little bit. I could move it back like that far. Okay. So let's take a look. Because I do need a lot of birthday cards. Oh, that one says, hope you have the best birthday, but I think it's a little too long. Hello Friend is definitely the right size for, I want to use these flowers on the envelopes though. I know that. Have to. Gotta do it. They're super cute. And these envelopes are super cute. Okay, so one moment. Let me find a short sentiment. Okay, let me go back here into the what do I want to say? I mean, all the stamps I have. Not really. I keep, you guys would probably be amazed at the, I don't know, relatively small amount of stamps. I don't keep every stamp set I have ever purchased. No, I do not. In fact, I only keep current things behind me. So, so I don't have to think about what's current and what's not, right? So, I really like that. And it works really well. Especially like right now when I'm trying to find a little sentiment. Oh, all I seem to see is, I want like a little stacked sentiment. And all I seem to see is a long, thin sentiment. Come on, Smalls. Work with me here. I may have to go with making it into a clutch looking thing. That's okay. It's pretty fun too. How about you're kind of a big deal? No, I don't think that sounds very good. Okay. This might be fun. Not surprisingly, I pulled the set that is free with a $100 purchase in the celebration set, the special moments. They're all fun. And here's that stamp. Where would I be without a friend like you? That's cool. I kept these on the plastic because I can't read these. There's so many to read. I can't read them very easily backwards. So this even looks good. So I think that like the point of this kind of really draws your attention to what do you want to say? And what you're saying is, where would I be without a friend like you? Okay, I am going to push this back now that I know where that needs to be, essentially. And we may as well put it in Calypso Coral. I don't want a bunch of different competing colors. We've got a lot going on here. So, give me Calypso. There it is. Oh, you stamped your sentiments. Kathy Shealy says she stamped her sentiments on a card stack and wrote the set it was from. My goodness, you're organized. I'm going to slip this in here, and I'm keeping my spots so I know that, like, I want to stamp underneath where that piece of cardstock is. So underneath the Pear Pizzazz, I want to stamp my sentiment. And you can also jimmy the little die cut around a little bit too. Okay, I'm going straight on the paper. Scary. Oh, so pretty. Where would I be without a friend like you? I think that's pretty straight. It's as straight as it's going to be. And then, of course, this little, it's pointing right to it, which I like. I like that. Okay, let's give this a try. And I'm going to put seal on the back of this. I did run this a little longer than the die cut. As you can see, the die cut kind of imprints right there. But I wanted, I wanted to have a little bit of background for the flowers that are also this color. So I think I should move it this way. I am going to use, here's what I want to do. I like a third hand for just a moment. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, here we go. Just trying to get that so, of course, that point isn't getting in the way. Now, did I do it straight? Oh, yeah, that's pretty straight. Okay, now you see here, so the edge, so this die cut is 8.5 inches, And this card is 8 3/4. So you'll have a little bit on either side. So listen, you either need to make this card like 8 1/2 or do what I'm going to do, which is like, I am going to hide that. I'm going to hide the edges with these cool flower images on the top and the bottom. And I'm going to turn it into like a little decorative element, right? Because I think that's going to be cool. And I'll put one of those down there, maybe this way. I'm just going to pick them up. I don't know why I'm being so particular, but you were, yeah, Kathy, that's a great idea. I love it. I do remember, actually, I remember where a lot of them are, but if I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, yeah, I kind of stall on that. Didn't we used to have an index that had sentiments in it? That was nice. I mean, there's, you know, this, they've done a great job with the catalogs, and I really like the way the index is right now, but still, I liked that one. Can I just have a catalog of indexes? I just need a catalog of indexes, that's all. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at this as I'm gluing these down. I'm not taking the glue over the border, right? Because I'm not trying to glue the card together. I'm just trying to glue little pieces. And I'm trying to keep my glue towards the center of my flowers. And I'll do the same with the dimensionals. Because I may want to pop a couple of leaves of Pear Pizzazz in here. I think it would be a really nice third color. And so we're going to check that out. And of course, the leaves are in the set, so that's really pretty. Nice to use that. Okay, so see, then you don't see anything down here with the end of that, of course. And I'm just going to spin this one around because I kind of had those set where I wanted them. And you know, the roses underneath, or whatever this is, this could very easily be a ranunculus. But the flower underneath is not glued down yet. So again, this side is the only place where I want that glue. I'm kind of just setting it right there. Then this one's going to get some dimensional 3. Yeah, exactly. We're going to have a little bit of dimension, but we're not changing all the colors. That was for the DSP, right? That was, you get all the change of colors with our DSP cards. So these cards are just a little different. There. Okay. And then I have this one. Just trying to put it in the same place it is. And just turn it over, right? And put that one there. And then this guy can come back. Come on now. And let's put this one, trying to be able to show this to you. Again, the Slimline cards. They come with the little differences, don't they? Where would I be without a friend like you? So there's the space to write. And then, like I said, finally, let me bring in a little bit of Pear Pizzazz. I feel like it needs it. And I think it'll be really pretty. What? I should open up a flower shop? No, I just know about them, but I can't make a cut arrangement to save my life. Hello, Brene, by the way. I am much more of a gardener and a amateur gardener. So, but I like to talk. It's kind of like talking wine. Like, well, I don't really talk about wine all the time, but I don't really drink it all the time either. But I like to talk about it. I probably talk about it more than I actually drink it. Please don't forget, this is that phenomenal set of dies that goes with that artistically inked stamp set we were just using. It's in the annual catalog. It'd be a perfect purchase for you to make. And then you could get the gnomes for free and a free celebration item as well. And I don't know that I ever stopped using it, really. So I want this leaf right here, and it has a die cut. But look at all these cool explosions. They really are inspired by alcohol ink impressions. Only you don't have to get, I think alcohol ink looks very messy. It does not look like something I would want to get involved in, because from what I've heard from people talking on YouTube, you know, that's my source of information for this anyway. So from what I've heard, people prefer to use the papers now because the papers are so phenomenally gorgeous. And when you're making your own alcohol inks, it takes a while for you to, you know, get the hang of it and make something that looks gorgeous. So just skip that. Get these stamps. You can make them in any different color you want. You can also still get the paper that goes with the suite. It's on the front of the annual catalog for crying in the soup. That means it's special, right? I'm going to do an extra just in case something goes on here. Runs afoul. Okay, so that's Pear Pizzazz. Let me die cut these in a flash. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just off to the side. Just using the standard Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine tonight. The mini is close at hand, and I could use the mini for this one. But, you know, I had it out. So I don't feel like trimming my paper. My paper is a little too big for the mini, and I don't feel like trimming it. So I'm just going to cut these leaves out real quick. But I love having the mini and the standard. What can I say? I want them both. They both serve a purpose. Okay. Ooh, wait until you see these. They're so pretty. Look at that. I mean, look at all of the interest you get from that distinctive stamp. So that is Stampin' Up's. I believe they have a patent pending on this process. It is, this process gives your stamping dimension and lots of different layers of ink, even though you're only stamping the image one time. So this process is exclusive to Stampin' Up. So you don't get this effect with other stamps. And then we just so happen to have the best colors. So you don't even need to look any further. That is one of the cool things about Stampin' Up, is they give you the total paper crafting experience. You don't have to shop in a million different stores. You just shop with an educated demonstrator, right? With an educated, goofy demonstrator. I don't want to mention any names. But you find your own demonstrator, or you become a demonstrator. Super easy. Great perks, by the way. You can ask me all about it. And then you're on your way. And everything coordinates. The colors coordinate. Beautiful materials. You don't need much more. I think everyone would agree to that. Okay, so we're just going to see immediately. I go, yep, I like that. And then I would offset it with this one. Well, how about, oh yeah, how about this? I will offset it by putting that one underneath. So it's not going to be a lot, right? It doesn't have to be. You need to bring that out a little further though. There we go. This one. Then this guy, I'm just going to put a glue dot on that. Falling asleep. Oh, okay, Kathy. I know. It's a late nighter, isn't it? Well, it's 8:37. I said 8:30, but, you know, 7 minutes. And then you can always watch the replay. I'd start earlier if I could, but it just doesn't work out. Oh my gosh. I love this card. It's a cool, different layout, isn't it? So where would I be without a friend like you? I don't even know that I would put something like, I would put embellishments on it if you guys want it, but I don't even know that it needs anything. It's so cute. We could use pale papaya. It is an in color after all, so Let me see if I have some of those gems. I may have used them all because they're gorgeous. There we go. There's a few on that sheet. So let's use those. Oh, so pretty. I love it. So again, these are the 21 to 23 in colors. 2 different sizes. Yes, 2, you know what, I'm not going to do that. 2 different sizes of gems in 5 different colors. And they're very cool. That looks too much like a triangle. There we go. I don't like to look so robotic. And then how about a little one down on the card, actually. Oh, very fun. I'm in love with it. Thank you, Jean. That's so nice of you. Okay, I have all sorts of Stampin' Dimensionals all over the place. But let me bring these in and just show you what, these are my takes on the Slimline dies. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you guys think about giving them a try. They do go with your existing stamp sets, right? Just like I'm showing you here. Thank you so much for the love hearts. But then you can also just use the dies if you want for something really kind of eye-catching and stunning. And then again, you can use the existing stamps you have and you can make something really unusual. Look at this. Oh, it's still, I think this one's my favorite just because it's so detailed and odd, kind of like, I'm gonna have to send that to, I don't know, one of you. And then finally, there it is, just the outline and just making it into kind of a cute little money holder. A nice $100 bill would be very nice to put in here. And then, you know, you could give it to a stamper friend and then they could earn 2 free celebration items. And if they used it with me and my business, they could earn the gnomes too. Oh gosh. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoy that. Again, this is the Slim Sayings bundle. It is about $71, so you're very close to spending $100 with it. If you decide to purchase this from me, you definitely will get the Gnomes kit, which is, again, I think super cute. It's really just paper piecing. It's like gluing paper together. That's as hard as it's going to be. And then all you have to do is provide a sentiment if you want it. Okay, you don't even have to provide the sentiments. And then you can just wear your gnome socks that I send you for a little gift. And just enjoy it, right? Okay, everyone, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you for sticking with me. And I hope that I've given you maybe a couple different ideas about these Slimline cards. Or maybe if you are on the fence about getting them, maybe you think they're kind of fun. I know I do. All right, everyone, I appreciate you so much. Have a great night and a beautiful weekend. We'll talk soon.